Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we'll be reviewing the Marvel Select Black Widow, the black outfit version. So yes, here we have the Marvel Select Black Widow. Originally this was released in a purple outfit, and I sort of just avoided getting it for a while because I didn't really like the color of it, and I just kind of never got around to it. But whenever they finally released it in black, I decided I would go ahead and pick one up because I need Black Widow for the Avengers display and all those sorts of things, and it's a fairly acceptable figure, although I do have some complaints about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and zoom in for the articulation, sculpt paint details, all those sorts of things. Alright, starting off with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have Black Widow. Here's our Marvel Universe 3 3/4 inch Wolverine and our standard Marvel Legends 6 inch Superior Spider-Man. As Marvel Selects are in the 7-inch scale, she is a good bit taller than a Marvel Legends and way taller than a Marvel Universe figure. Now let's get the other two out of here and just look at the Black Widow. Alright, moving on to our 360 spin. Here you can see Black Widow. Her outfit is mostly black, which makes sense and is much better than it being purple. It does have a little bit of seam work, but it's also black and there's no real shading or anything, so it's a bit difficult to see, but it is there. A little bit of textured wrinkling and things like that, but not a whole lot going on. She has an open zipper bit there at her chest. She has a belt, which has little black circles with a silver outline, as well as the Black Widow symbol there in the middle. She has her little bracers on there, and some black fingerless gloves. Her nails are painted red, and her hands are in gun-holding positions. Unfortunately, she comes with no actual guns, so they make her just look fairly silly most of the time, unless you have some guns for her. Her legs have a couple of little straps on them, and some buckles, and some zippers, but nothing too terribly fancy. And then her boots are a shinier color than the rest of her outfit, and have some buckles and straps on them. And they are sort of platformy heel sort of things, but they're all one piece. I don't know what shoes are, but they're not normal boots. They're up high. So, yeah, that's about it for the Black Widow's body detail. Now let's zoom in on the head sculpt. Head sculpt-wise, Black Widow's not terrible in the sculpting department, but mine in particular, I don't know how common of an issue this is. Her eyes are just really, really bad. They're like looking off to the side, one on each side looking off to the side, and it looks really, really derpy. She is the derpiest Black Widow I've ever seen. So that's kind of an issue. Apart from that, the actual sculpting is not terrible, but it's nothing spectacular. The hair is red and sculpted a little bit. It's got a little bit of shading in there, so it looks pretty decent overall. So, minus the eyes, the head sculpt is acceptable, but nothing spectacular. Let's zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, Black Widow is acceptable, but nothing particularly amazing. Ball peg head, so that moves up and down a little bit and rotates. The hair gets in the way a little bit. Ball joint shoulders, in and out, forward and back. Elbows, hinge in and out, and rotate. Rotation at the wrist. She has a waist cut underneath the belt. Hips move in and out and hinge in and out like that. She is missing a thigh cut, which would be very useful. Double jointed knees, which is nice. And hinge and rotation at the ankle. No pivoting. She's acceptable. She could use some more joints. They certainly have had better articulation on Marvel Selects in the past, but she is acceptable. You can get her into a few poses. Now, Black Widow comes with one accessory and a base, so let's go ahead and look at those. Black Widow comes with this tiny little Ant-Man. It's about the size of a HeroClick miniature or something like that. It's fairly nicely painted, blue and red and black with a silver helmet, and it can peg into the base that she comes with. And here is the base with Ant-Man attached. It has some robot legs and arms on it, presumably belonging to a Ultron or Ultron bot. They are all destroyed and covered in mud, have wires poking out of them. There's little rocks and things on the ground. Everything is sculpted and painted very nicely. It all looks very cool. It doesn't actually have any foot pegs, so she can't stand on it any better than just standing on the ground, or standing on the ground that's covered in little things that make it difficult to stand up. So it's not actually that useful for its purpose, but it looks pretty good, so if you can get her to stand on it somehow, it'll look okay in a display. Plus it gives you a place to put Ant-Man. And that about wraps it up for Black Widow and all of her accessories. Let's move on to the packaging. Packaging-wise, Black Widow comes in the standard for the Marvel Select series. You got your big window here. Black Widow Marvel Select over here on the side. You got your Black Widow logo down there at the bottom. Picture of Black Widow there on the spine. And on the back, you get a picture of the figure, which is still the purple version, so they didn't bother to change that. Big description over here on the side, and a picture of 2 other figures that are available, which are Thor and Hawkeye. I've actually reviewed Hawkeye, so if you want to look that up, you can do so. As always, these are good for in or out of package displays, so yeah, Black Widow. Alright, that wraps it up for Black Widow, so until next time, goodbye! Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.